So fall winter is in full swing, and today I'm gonna give you some highlights from Japan that are sure to give you some inspiration on the mainstream, the underground, and the secondary market. We got some fall winter pickups to guide you in the Japanese fashion space next, as we do. So I'm Reggie Casual, let's get it. All right, so we gotta start this entire escapade off with trousers and pants. Fall winter comes with its own bag of hues and palettes, and one of the best to explore on Earth are earth tones, which means workwear always goes a long way. That's why first we went ahead and employed Levi's Japan and went for the 517 bootcut denim in brown. What makes these special as a boot cut is that they have a slight flare at the leg opening, but not overly aggressive like the well-documented trend that I'm sure many of you are aware of. Now, if you're pairing these with other workwear classics like a denim jacket, but slimming up that jacket a bit and pairing it with boots, it updates that look considerably without it looking overly trendy. But as much as I love the addition of workwear adjacent elements, for those of us in the black clothing community, nothing beats a solid pair of black denim, which is our next showcase. For years, I ran away from denim, but far be it for me to say, the accessibility of high quality denim in Japan has only grown over the years, even more so than it has ever been. And the pair we're showing off today is from one of the most accessible, and that is Edwin. Now, full disclosure, we'll be talking about these in another episode when we explore a little bit more about the new Edwin. But these right here, the made in Japan Selvedge, is probably the best bang for your buck Japanese denim right now. They feel great, they fit well, and per usual, come with that Edwin seal of approval. Now, Edwin has stepped up their game tremendously in Japan, and whether you're into black denim or not, you certainly need to have Edwin on that list of exploratory brands in the denim space overall. As black denim has extreme versatility, you perhaps don't need my advice on how to pair it up, but for me, I usually go with the slim pair, some boots or high top classic sneakers to give off different vibes. The boot look gives off that alternative aesthetic, especially when paired with vintage or alternative pieces from brands like Julius and Yoji, at least that's for me. And the classic look is simply classic, no explanation needed. Pair it with some classic lows, your favorite jacket, and a shirt, and you got an easy, effortless look that feels amazing when you wear it. And that just speaks to the quality. Seriously, I can't say it enough. Edwin, Japan Selvedge denim, great entry point, it feels amazing. There's not much more I can say about it. And that's it for trousers this season. We didn't go too crazy. There's some other things that I can show you, but we're gonna go ahead and move on. However, there are some notes you should take if you're coming to Japan or if you expect to buy trousers from Japan. So point one, pay attention to specific cuts that are common in Japan, as quite often they can give you classic styles from a different perspective. And then there's point two, quality over quantity, like with the Edwin. It's always a given, but you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to get that quality. While famed labels like Momotaro and Samurai Denim are fantastic and shouldn't be skipped, labels like Edwin are nothing to sleep about and are great entry points. All right, so moving on to tops. Now, if you're like me, every year the search for the perfect hoodie is real. It's really real. And for me, this season belongs to Y3, which is, I mean, come on, it's me. But the FT hoodie, out of control. Oversized, drop shoulder, no cinch ribbing on the waistline, right up my alley. Also, if you haven't noticed, it's purple, which adds a seasonless vibe and a punch to monochromatic wardrobes without moving too far into bombastic color blocking. But the best part of this Y3 FT hoodie is the silhouette. Quite simply, if you are a fan of movement and common Japanese shape, this is a classic. It also came in yellow, which means if you're a Laker fan, you can rep without a jersey. You got the purple and gold right there. I'm a Lakers fan, so I had to say that. In short, wear what you like, the way that you like. All right, so next up, we got some hidden gems, some finds you may or may not know as far as brands are concerned. First up, we have a Shinya Kozuka collared shirt that's more like a field jacket than an actual shirt. Now, this may not seem like much, but the length of the shirt and the fabric thickness make for a great outer layer in lieu of a regular jacket, chore coat, or regular coat. Now, the wrist area is locked in, so it doesn't allow for rolled sleeves, adding to its status as more of a jacket or coat than shirt. We have split seams on the side, give it movement, and it's just an all-around interesting piece. Maybe not the best piece you've ever seen, but it's interesting, some of the elements that were put in it. Pairing it with the black Edwin jeans from earlier is a stark yet inviting contrast, as the silhouette is slightly daring yet familiar, especially if you take that inner and normalize it a bit, make it a little bit more slim on the body. Again, it acts more like a coat in this situation, but you don't have to take that coat off. That said, Shinya Kozuka is a great label with some interesting pieces, so it's worth a few good looks as something that's kind of off the radar that you should probably be paying attention to. All right, so we're down to the last bit, and of course, we're at our second-hand finds. One of the best techniques to shopping secondhand in Japan is shopping lesser-known Japanese brands, because it is a surefire way to get amazingly well-made stuff for cheap. Take, for instance, our first pickup, our shearling-lined Holman coat from Bedouin and the Heartbreakers. For me, an awesome, well-rounded pickup, in black of course, that goes with almost any of my classic looks that invoke black and monochromatic palettes. Now, this particular piece retailed at around $600 USD when it was released years ago, but was acquired for about $200 USD. And that's what knowing the brands gets you. But then there's the other side of it, and brands like, say, Kapital represent that 100%. So for our second-hand find, we got the long Kapital ring coat. That's right, it's for you Kapital fans out there. And we actually have a whole episode dedicated to Kapital soon, but again, this piece was acquired for the same reason stated at the very beginning, to add some much needed color and variety within my personal wardrobe without deviating from my personal style. Hence, the long ring coat instead of the more popular regular crop cut. As many of you know, the ring coat from Kapital is of excellent make. It's made in Japan quality, meticulously designed, and honestly, just a fun piece to wear. It comes highly recommended simply for the fact that it's just an awesome piece to play with. You could do so many different things. I just draped this guy over my predominantly slim black silhouette and let it do most of the work from there. We added some boots for flair, let the denim buckle for an intentional alternative aesthetic, and what you have is two different styles clashing but at home with each other. At least to me. That's what I was going for. But again, with Kapital, it comes with a price. Even secondhand Kapital is pricey due to its global reputation and the market. So while I say shop secondhand in Japan or shop secondhand Japanese brands, a bit of silence goes a long way in maintaining the price point you'd like to pay. Now, I don't mean to gatekeep, but demand almost always raises prices. That's capitalism. Just be mindful of what you're gonna be looking for and do yourself a favor and educate yourself on more Japanese brands. And if you don't know how to do that, you know where to go. Right here, The Casual. We're gonna show you all those underground brands or brands that not many people talk about. I'll clue you in, no doubt. And finally, to end out the fall winter pickups, we got footwear. Now, we already showed off the Mexico 66 SD in another episode, which is just a great alternative to the Samba craze out there. So definitely check out that episode if you want some info on that. But today, I wanna focus on Converse. That is Converse Japan. I ended up picking up these made in Japan all leather upper all-stars, and they are quite possibly one of the best footwear purchases I've made in a hot minute. The soft, plush leather is steeped in quality, and the reinforced sole ensures these won't suffer from that common sole separation that you see in many Converse sneakers. But this, again, is what you expect from Converse Japan. In my opinion, when it comes to Converse, if you're looking to buy some Converse shoes, there's no better place than Converse Japan. Add to the fact that they can literally go with anything, and it just lets you appreciate it more because of the multi-use. And that's really the game, and hopefully the message you got from this entire episode. I always like to say that Japan doesn't do much different in fashion outside of a few adjustments here and there. The construction is a little bit different. Quality, options are a little bit more. Perspectives are different, of course. I guess they do a lot of things different. So that's what I would like for you to understand about these fall pickups. A lot of the time it's just these small little things that just make a piece worth having, or can really add a little bit more flavor and contrast in a wardrobe that just gets you excited about wearing those pieces and exploring your personality through clothing. All that said, I don't want you all thinking that you have to get stuff like this or spend way too much money on fashion. That is not the point here. These are examples of my personal choices for this fall season that inspire my wardrobe and hopefully give you insight on what to look out for. Always remember, clothes don't make you different. They just make you look different. So the best thing to do is wear what makes you feel the most like you, and damn the people who don't mess with it. That said, me giving you insight into the Japanese perspective is simply my attempt to expand your options. That said, let us know which pieces you liked in this episode or whatever, or name any other labels you'd like to see reviewed here in this space in the future. And if you can, join us on YouTube or Patreon for future benefits and production credits. This ensures that we'll be able to deliver more consistently the showcases you'd like to see, as well as keeping this thing going and serving you up bigger and better reviews and insights, while also helping us build a platform that makes all these things that we talk about more accessible to you, because that is the end game. At the very least, drop a sub, like, turn on notifications if you found this content valuable or entertaining to you, but most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info in international fashion and culture from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu, and I will see you guys in a minute.